Oh, I hate it. Welcome to the show. Speaking of things I hate, welcome to this goddamn video game podcast around my neck every week until I'm dead. Hi, we're back in quarantine, so we're recording from home. Please excuse any audio misgivings. It's the 342nd episode of the Talking Reckless podcast. My name's Matt Eads. I'm joined by Oliver Aguilar.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Andy.
And Kevin and Andy.
Yeah, we're a package deal, bitch.
No, we already. Yeah, there you go. Now we're podcasting for reals.
Fuck
yes,
you, time.com. That's this one that's gonna sync up. What was it called again?
time.com.
Yeah,
Time.com.
time dot it is.
Time.
Sexiest time of the year is...
What is the sexiest time of the year?
PM. 7:26 p.m.
Yeah, I'd probably agree
Sexiest time of the year. Yeah.
I'd probably agree with that. We are back in lockdown here in Alberta, so we are recording from home for probably the foreseeable future. I don't color me a pessimist. I don't see this one. I don't see us walking this one back here in progressive Alberta. So we might be recording from home for the next year.
6 years.
Yeah. I mean,
there was news about a vaccine being produced in Canada very soon, very shortly.
They're claiming mid-January is when it'll start rolling out here, allegedly, but I'm not crossing my fingers. I don't know. It's weird. I know we've been in lockdown for like a long time, but it's just now we are in it here and state of emergency here, and like now it's real, you know? Now that it's happening where I live, it's real.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy because I know like Amber has to work from home and she's kind of been staying at home. Kevin, you got sent back home and you got sent back home. Andy, what's your situation?
Oh shit. I just fucking hang out. The station will still go in and do our shows and whatnot, so I only work Saturday and Sunday there, and I do have my part-time gig as a bartender, but I've been on call for like the past couple of shifts, and they've texted me at like noon each day and been like, "Hey Andy, what's up? Just letting you know we don't need you tonight." I'm like, "Oh, there's nobody there, eh? All right." Big surprise. So that's kind of my situation, but yeah, if I have to go in, if as long as the restaurants are open, I'll still always have that where I might have to go in, but otherwise, I'm just personally not going out as much as possible.
The restaurants are still open. You cannot have a social gathering bigger than 2. So legally, we can no longer do the podcast at Kevin's house. Well, I mean,
yes,
it's not a social gathering. We can, anyways. If we take that podcast to the fucking pool, we're fine. You guys want to go do this podcast in the hot tub? That's allowed. You want to go do this podcast in a bar? That's allowed.
Well,
I mean, the pool makes sense because they have the chlorine in the water, and everybody knows chlorine cures COVID.
Yeah, if it makes it so that I can drink somebody else's piss, it'll cure COVID.
I mean, you could just drink somebody else's piss. There's a whole...
I can
send you some videos if you want.
It has chlorine into it. I'm not doing it unless it has chlorine into it.
Yeah,
we could also go to the casino if you want.
Yeah, we could. We could go to the casino and do this fucking podcast on the floor.
I was blown away that the casinos are still open.
It's so, our fucking leadership here is ridiculous. Ridiculous. What kind of a lockdown? I can't even get started. It's, you guys want to go to the casino? Is basically what I'm getting to. Is anybody feeling lucky? Because we still can.
I was actually thinking to myself, like, man, I really want this to be over because I haven't been to a casino in like literally years, and I kind of am feeling like I want to gamble after this thing is over. So
yeah,
like we made it through it, so I got to have some luck, right?
We don't even got to wait. We can go tomorrow.
The craps table.
It's a bad scene here in Alberta. 7% positivity rate on our COVID, which is impossibly high, the highest in Canada by a huge factor.
At 77% of our population? Is that what it is?
No, 7% positivity is like 7% of people who get tested?
Yeah, I think so. We have 1% of our population has COVID.
That's right. 1 in every 100 people in Alberta has COVID. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. So anyways, that's been consuming all of my free mental energy and time this week. So the things are gonna be a little bit weird. We're probably not gonna have a rolling reckless this week. We'll try and get it set for next week. It's all gonna be. Well, you know, we almost roleplayed last week.
That kind of fell apart too.
Everything's gonna be a little fucked up for a while. You know, Tron, and the only thing that is safe and saccharine is the anime podcast. Weirdly enough, because I record that one by myself. So if you want to hear podcasting where the quality is only going up, 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 head on over to patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast, where we just finished Mob Psycho 100 Season 1, and the voting is open now for whatever you want to watch next over on Patreon.
Is that the one that you were saying I would like that's like One Punch Man?
Yeah. I sent you that picture of the protagonist who looks like Saitama in a wig.
Yeah. I really like those character designs because they're very simple and I can draw them.
Yeah, it's
just like fucking egghead and then eyeballs.
There's some really, really funny art in Mob Psycho. You should watch. Mob Psycho's dope. You should watch it. I
really do want to get to that one.
Very good. The English dub also very good. No sub or no dubs. No dubs. Fuck, the dubs are. I mean, dubs. Time and place. You know. No wait. No subs. The dub is good. What's the one where they talk? That one's fine.
Dub would be where they talk. Sub would be when they have subtitles.
Okay.
Yeah,
the English words sound nice.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, with One Punch Man, I watched it all in. Man, I'm gonna sound like a dick now in whatever it's in. And I watched it with subtitles.
Stop. What language do you think One Punch Man might be?
Is it Mandarin?
Is
it Korean?
No. Where do animes come from?
Is it Japanese?
It is Japanese.
I don't know. I thought. Nah, never mind.
That was a very, and also like that was a well-informed guess, Andrew. I approve of the guess of Mandarin.
I know what you thought I was going to say.
Wrong, and then just moved westward towards the correct answer.
Yeah, well, you didn't say Chinese, so
yeah.
At least you didn't say Chinese.
That's what you thought I was going to say, but I'm not. I used to be that ignorant, but I'm not anymore. But anyway, so I watched it in Japanese and watched it with the subs, not dubs. And now whenever I see a clip of One Punch Man with English dubs, I'm just like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not the same. It'd be like watching, I don't know, something where they changed the character voice. I don't have a good example. You know what I'm saying, though. There's just something about that, like I found it way funnier when I watched it in Japanese.
Like that time that Cade 6 became Nolan North for a while.
Nope, it's not, because Nolan North fucking sounded exactly the same as Nathan Fillion. So.
Okay, let's not. That I don't know.
Hey, no, I love Nathan Fillion, but Nolan North fucking did a bang up job of covering for him.
Yeah, I could tell. I replaying that expansion. I was like, is this?
Yeah.
And then like the whole thing, I was like, oh right, because there was the Nathan Fillion was gonna play, or people wanted him to play Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, and it was this weird Nolan North voices back and forth, and it's the greatest rivalry in existence.
They're not rivals, are they?
Yeah.
There's not a rivalry there.
Yeah, no, they fucking hate one another. They like rivals implies like some respect. What nemesis? I guess
they hate each other. Really?
Oh yeah. Long
just
standing
jealousy,
feud.
or
I don't know.
Jealousy?
Maybe I have Andy. I'm making this up 100% as I go along.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, hold on. You mean that story where Nathan Fillion almost stabbed the other guy at the video game awards that one year? You're saying that's not a true memory? That didn't happen?
I mean, you know, he's
I heard that.
He's Canadian, so he didn't have a gun. He just had a knife.
Yeah. Alberta boy too, so he's got a bit of pent up rage in him, as all of us do here in this province. And
Alberta boy, so he's a bit fucking stunned like everyone else in this province.
Anyway, sorry to bring it back to that.
No, they I don't remember what we were. Mob Psycho.
Anime.
Yeah, you would really dig it. I think you would really dig it. I finished that first season today and just fun. It's a really fun show.
Good. I like fun animes. I don't like serious animes like you watching Attack on Titan and stuff. I don't want anything to do with that. But like a good fun one.
Serious anime, Maybe like a
Me?
nice.
Or you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Yeah.
think there's room in everyone's life for a nice, serious anime. It doesn't have to be gory or like
Nah.
murder film. What
I want
about that one where they're all cells in the body that I keep seeing on Netflix, where the main character's like, I'm a white blood cell or something.
the fuck you talking about?
Cells at work, maybe? That's an anime. I'm not making this up. I'm a certified
I'm not saying
senpai. You
you're
don't think I know
making
what
it
I'm
up.
talking about?
Just who the fuck like is browsing through Netflix and flicks and lands on that thumbnail and goes, "Oh, that looks kind of
That
cool."
guy.
Me.
That guy.
Just scrubbing through and not gonna be like, oh, is that anime? Go back. Oh, cells at work. Okay, yeah, hell yeah. It's educational. Yeah, someone in chat. See, I know what I'm talking about.
It's like the adult version of Magic School Bus.
Yeah, sure. Probably. Think there's fucking?
The cells are fucking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you think more cells get made?
Replicating is what they call it, I think.
It's replicating.
Yeah, is it
They're
osmosis?
fucking.
No, it's
They don't
not.
bang
It's
each other.
not
They
os.
just like split each other. They're like worms. You can just chop them in half. There's more cells. Oh no, I need more cells. Chop.
I think that is how it works. I don't know what that process is called. Now that we're here
I thought
on the home cam, you get to
Ah,
see this
there she
lovely
is.
coworker who is up
Oh my
here.
god, Matt! Matt,
What?
you ate her ear.
Yeah, well, pandemic times. She got a short little ear, but she's constantly up here when I'm podcasting. You'll see her. She'll like a paw will just enter. I guess this would be frame left, and will just like touch my face throughout the stream as she's telling me it's dinner time and things.
That is an anime called Initial D anywhere on your radar, or has anybody mentioned?
Yeah,
Initial D?
I know the song. It's about race cars running
I know the video
in the
game.
'90s. So that's all I know.
I remember
I
the
don't know
video
the theme
game
song.
came with, I guess I shouldn't say the video game, the arcade game came
The
with
arcade
like a PIN card, like a debit card or whatever, that had all your
it would
car
print out-
data on it. So you'd have to put it
Yeah.
into the machine before you started so that all your races and your car upgrades would get saved.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh
Yeah, that game was dope. It was super expensive though. It was like $2 a race where I was playing it. I didn't play it too much.
What makes you ask about Initial D?
Oh, I don't know. It's an anime that I watched, like probably my most recent anime, which is probably years and years and years ago. But
Initial D was the most recent anime you've watched?
yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I tried Attack on Titan one
That
episode.
came out
and
in
then
90? It was in the 90s for sure. 98?
yeah, one episode here and there of other things. But
22
Initial D was
years
like
ago?
the last was the last like real anime I got into.
It's got Steve Bloom.
And it just came up today because I don't fucking know. I work at a car dealership where there are kids with cars and they're into shit, and then someone started talking about Initial D, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! I loved Initial D when I was young."
And then were you like, I mean, I hate anime. Whoops.
No, I'm. Yeah, they all know
What's
me
the
for
drugs?
what I am over there.
Yeah.
What you are.
The mask has been stripped off.
Yeah.
Is Initial D like Fast and Furious?
In that it has cars and racing, then yes.
Does it have Shaw?
Yeah.
No. Does it have Han?
Does it have attractive ladies?
I
Anime
don't know. I
ladies,
never
yeah.
saw the
Let's see. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
type
I'll watch
Initial
that.
D ladies into.
Fucking, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I gotta. Yeah, I gotta list all the.
No. I want images. I
got pictures of all the female characters.
I don't know. I think the anime ladies back then are a little bit rougher than they're
It's like an old art style.
Yeah,
is.
it's a very much so a weird art style. It's not
Ladies
a
little-
modern art style.
It's Lay's a little banged
Yeah,
up,
definitely.
Andy.
Yeah, well, it's come a long ways. Definitely, yeah, they're still nice.
But
though.
it's about cars, and it's about drift racing in particular.
Does have Han?
That's
Yeah, very cool. But yeah, has his probably Han is like the prototypical Japanese dude. So yeah, I'm sure there's a Han like.
Way into drifting.
Yeah.
Good drivers are dime a dozen, but racers. What y'all been up to? Anybody got anything they want to talk about pre video game section? Not a lot going on this week. Turns out, new consoles are out. Cyberpunk is coming in 2 weeks, and everyone is just getting the fuck out of the way of Cyberpunk.
I continued to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, how
and that continues to be a cool game.
Still making progress. See, are you still moving through it at a good clip? Do you think you're gonna finish?
I'll finish it for sure. I've sort of stalled lately because Amber has me doing like house projects and stuff. But I like going back to that game. Like I like the combat, and when the combat clicks, it's fucking cool to see. Like when you have the duels, the one-on-one duels, and then you're like deflecting, and he's deflecting, and then you kind of just square off. It's like classic samurai shit.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see.
It looks like
though.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wish though that they would sort of vary those duels a little bit because it's all fucking the same kind of.
Yeah, they are copy. I mean, every piece of content in that game. There's like 6 different stamps, and then just the stamp appears everywhere. Whether it be the duels or the fox shrines or the naked butt cheeks getting into a hot tub. Same. You're seeing the same butt cheeks every time.
Yeah, and the story really isn't compelling me that much, but I really like how that game plays. I like how that game plays in the way that it's like it's not super. You don't have to be super accurate about things, and it's not overly punishing when you're sort of just button mashing. In the way that I imagine the Souls games are. But yeah, I like how fast and loose it is.
Yeah, the combat does feel good. The multiplayer stuff with the Brando and I played felt pretty good too. It's a lot harder. You got to really like be on your shit. But I really like that combat system. Yeah.
Player versus everybody, or is it PvP?
It's PvE. It's for up to 4 people on a team against just AI waves, and there's a like, raid equivalent.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get to play the raid, or?
No, I passed it off before the raid even came out.
I was thinking that this game would benefit from that Nemesis engine that's in the those Lord of the Ring games.
Shadow War.
What are those games called? Yeah, Shadow War, Shadow Mordor games.
Yeah.
Because like there's a whole army of Mongols, and like it'd be cool to have like a hierarchy of these named Mongols that would come back to fucking
sure. Yeah, we not
come
enough
at you after you disarmed him or something.
Not enough to keep you busy in this game. What if we had also these 800 instead of Ranger? It's like, oh, a ghost or whatever. Yeah,
it would just make these bad guys a little bit more.
They'd always have to get away, though. You know How do you like in Lord of the Rings when you're a magic orc man? Is like, oh, you got kicked on fire and then they made half of you into metal. Cool. When you're like a real life Mongol, it's like, oh, I sewed my hand back on. It doesn't really work anymore, but
yeah, but I mean that structure of like. And also the way that Shadow of Mordor sort of like played with that, where you could control or like, I don't know, make some of these make some of these orcs sort of like infiltrate like one of the warlords or whatever to kind of like turn the tide of like a giant battle or however they did. I totally forget how they did it. I think it would just be interesting. I'd add kind of a more interesting layer to this game.
Yeah.
At any that whole system is very cool, and I remember when it came out with that game, a lot of people had hopes for it, and I feel like this game could have benefited from it.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, chasing foxes around to different shrines and all that, notwithstanding, this game, yes, is very repetitive.
You think you're gonna finish it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Control is really not holding my attention, and I keep coming back to this one.
Final Fantasy.
And Final Fantasy's kind of off the radar. For
Final
me too.
Fantasy.
Oliver, I'm so disappointed in you.
You have to
I know.
outsquat
I'm disappointed in
Jules.
myself.
Jules is a fucking fiend on the pull-up bar.
You also
Yeah,
have
it's
to play
unacceptable.
You also have to play Final Fantasy because that's probably going to be game of the year, whether we like it or not. So
Okay, Andy, what is that even?
fucking,
I mean, now it
fucking,
is.
I
Now
heard you
I'm
guys
voting
talking
for
about
it.
it. I heard the passion. Anytime we bring up another game, you're like, yeah, it's a pretty good game, but Final Fantasy's going to take it. Yeah, that game was awesome. I play a lot of it, but Final Fantasy, that's already one.
Known Final Fantasy stan Matt Eads here loves them.
I also stopped. I still have to play that game too. So maybe after I play it, I'll totally be on board with you guys. But just
Let me tell you
You will
my
be. It's
top
okay.
hype
5 ranked Final Fantasies that I've played. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and 3 for Super Nintendo.
Glad you picked a different one at the end
6,
there.
maybe. I think 5 or 6 here in America. I don't remember how it worked, but the first boss was the king,
At the end.
and he was a water bug. In summary, Andy, I know Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy. Some might say I am Final Fantasy. You best
That's,
and believe.
that's actually what we call you when you're not around. Final Fantasy Matt.
I call you FF for short.
It's just how much I love it. So better bring your fighting pants on Game of the Year Day. January the 16th, by the way, Game of the Year. Well, I'm going to say tentatively right now that we're back in lockdown. That date may or may not.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, but let's say tentatively January the 17th, because that's when everybody here booked off. So.
I mean, if you think about it, and we are still in lockdown, doing it over audio would just mean everybody can get super drunk, and nobody has to worry about driving home.
I'm not.
And then also too, if we all started talking at the same time right now and just did that for the next 6 hours straight, that would be what that thing is.
Yeah, I mean, but I have too much executive control on this end because I can just turn people off. I can just
there you go.
You quiet now and just fucking get rid of them. You know what I'm saying?
I got executive control as well too. I'll just
see, just like that, Andrew. Don't test my powers. Sorry, what were you saying? You were muted there for a second.
If you have like a really, really good argument for why a game should be where it is or why a game should be stricken from the list, Matt will just be like, audio fail.
Yeah. Oh, weird. They're called. Their internet must be down again.
Yeah, I know you can still see the video and everything else, but yeah, just everything's fine.
I think he's saying he wants Final Fantasy VII Remake to win.
And then
we'll put that in.
It looks like he's saying Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Andy, I don't even like Final Fantasy VII all that much. I don't know why. I'm not a Final Fantasy VII pusher. Don't put that on me.
We could try booking out the poker room at a casino.
we could try what at a casino?
Booking out a poker room at the casino.
Oh, for Game of the Year.
Yeah, so we can all just hang out.
The legality is not the thing that I'm worried about. It's the fucking pandemic. We could just go in the studio.
Yeah, I guess.
That'd be very fun.
We'll see where we're at when the time comes.
Yeah, book a poker room to do our year-end show.
Very funny. I fucking spent so much. You guys could just fight on the games that I'm going to put up a fight for when I get up to go to the bar to grab 2 more doubles. Just fucking.
Go play baccarat.
Yeah. Okay, and he's grabbing more doubles.
We have a room. You don't even have to get up. We'll have a waitress too.
Oh yeah, we won't have to move at all.
Oh shit, right? Yeah. Good. 1 more point of contact. That's what we need.
And we can order food, so we can have about a dozen more points of contact there.
Pretty good.
Fuck, that'd actually be pretty banging. I'm getting on board with this.
Those tables would be perfect and ideal for the setup as well.
The tables would legit be super perfect. If we could somehow steal a poker table out of that poker room, that'd be fucking A. I bet we could get away with it. If you,
I bet you, go into a late night poker room, all wearing like Alberta Health Services uniforms and like masks and
yeah.
stuff. We need to take one of these tables to see if there's any COVID left over on it.
For
We can just
tracing.
walk.
For tracing. We had a player report that they might have got. We're going to take the table. Or just walk in like coveralls and just be like, oh, this one's getting refinished. Just walk in like you are supposed to be there and have a clipboard. You're like, yeah, we're here for table. And then just quickly look at the numbers. Table 5? Yeah, table 5 is getting reupholstered.
Don't
Bring
even
it.
have
Yeah,
to be
you
that
think I-
intricate with it. Just walk in there and just be like, oh, we're looking for table that one. And
I mean, it
just grab
kind of
and leave.
depends on what casino you go to, because the casino that I used to work at, there were some late night shifts where if you would have slipped our houseman like $100, I bet you he would have let you walk out with a table.
I really just need the top. Like, I could build legs.
If you're gonna do it, fucking grab the whole thing.
Yeah.
The
Video.
bases of those tables are hard to move, though.
What's that?
I said the bases of those tables are hard to move.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking I would just kind of build a thing to put them up
Yeah.
on, maybe. Video games, gentlemen. Y'all been playing any of them? Who wants to go first? You know what? I'm going to go first because I haven't done fucking shit this week. I've done nothing. Truly nothing. I've probably played less video games that aren't Destiny this week than I ever have in my entire life. I am... Okay, I'm going to take you on a journey. 2020 is a desert. It's dry and harsh, and I've been walking through it, and my feet are starting to blister, and I've come along and fallen into a quicksand pit that is Destiny, and it's not great. It's quicksand, and I don't feel good about being in it, but it's nice to not have to think about the desert for a while, I guess.
Well, yeah, and if you try to get out of it and stop, then it's just going to pull you in harder.
Yeah, the more you struggle, the harder it pulls you in.
Yeah.
All I've done this week is played countless hours of Destiny, 30 more hours of Destiny. That's all I do.
See, I think you gotta trick the game. You can be like, okay, Destiny, I'm gonna stop playing you because I've been doing this one quest over and over and over every day, and I can't get this one item. So I'm gonna stop playing this game right after this next time. And then as soon as you say that, then you'll get the item that you want, and then Destiny will be like, well, now you got the item, so now there's no reason to stop playing.
It
Yeah,
isn't.
you gotta
What
keep
if you
playing.
keep going to get more cool things like that, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, well, and everything just resets. It's like, oh damn, I gotta get dailies. I'm gonna miss out. I haven't done my dailies yet today. I'm missing out on mod components and things. I gotta get in there.
Oh shit!
It's it's a lot. There's so many like taps to grind on. There's so many different places you can. The numbers are always going up, and there's about 15 different numbers that you can make go up, depending on what you want to do. And it's not extraordinarily fun. It's like satisfying, I'd say.
How long does it take you to do the dailies? Like, assuming that you are a completely average player.
I don't know. What do you think, Andy? Like 20 minutes, maybe, if you really just set your mind to getting them done.
Oh, fuck yeah. You can get them done in half an hour to an hour, depending on how much you want to do. Like, if you're just grabbing the Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard guys, you can bash those out in half an hour tops. If you want to go and start getting, like, the Crow ones and venture in a little bit deeper, then you're looking at about an hour. Also, too, if you're going to do the weeklies as well, too, and you're going to tack that onto one day's time, that's going to take a little more time, but...
Yeah, the weeklies. I mean, you got the whole week for the weeklies, but those are, they're all just it's like an insidious design where the meters, the numbers are going up. Just you often aren't even actively trying to make them go up; they're just going up as a result of you playing. But then that draws your attention to them in a way where you're like, oh, that number just went up 10. I bet I could make it go up 15. I bet if I spent a little time and actually, put a little thought into this, I bet I could do this here. And it's just that, but like across 50,000 different fronts where it's like, oh, PvP gear. This piece of PvP gear I'm chasing now. And like, oh, I need my light. I got 18 different reps to grind. And there's 15 new hunt systems you got to do each day. And a lot of Destiny.
I think you just got to be able to pick a lane with a lot of that stuff and just decide how much of it you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It's just, for certain weapons and different things, like I've said many times, whenever I get a quest or something like that, I'll usually, and I always encourage anyone else playing that game to do so, I'll look up what the thing is that you're going to get for doing that and look as to whether or not I even like or need that. And then if it's not something that I need, then I'm not like, I don't need to fill my collection library. I don't need to have owned every single weapon. So I just put that stuff off to the side and just focus on what I need to get done to like do the raid and like the hard stuff in the game.
Yeah, we're getting up to it.
Is that
Oh, yeah,
something
fuck,
that games are starting to do? Because I noticed in Ghost, like you can highlight a quest and then it'll show you like the rewards, and I like that because I'm like, that's totally not worth me doing, so I'm gonna fucking skip that one and go for the new armor dyes because I want to look cool in my samurai armor. It's just something that I really like that they're pointing out because it shows me as a person like, yeah, I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna skip.
Yeah, especially in Ghost, so much of that content is so unfulfilling that to get through it all and be like, oh, I got a thing I'm not even going to use. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see that, and like some games do. To answer your question, some games do, some games don't. Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, if I'm, I don't know if it. I mean, I haven't played Ghosts, but there are some games where I would want it to be a surprise. Like if it's cosmetic stuff or different things like that, like I don't mind if I don't know what it is until I get it. But that's also usually I'm okay with that if it doesn't take long to get the thing. Destiny, sometimes it can take you like fucking 4 weeks to get something. Like you legitimately have to wait week by week in order to do certain quests to get a certain item. And I would not want to do all that and then get a thing that I just don't give a fuck about. Whereas if it's a game where it's just, massive open world and I'm kind of just exploring and finding things, then I'm okay with that. Like Breath of the Wild, I liked because if you're just exploring and looking around, you can find some random pieces of gear and shit, and it's like, oh, cool, I found this thing because I was looking for it. That's fine, but it's also not going to take me 1,000 hours to do. Whereas Destiny, fuck, some of those quests are like 11 steps long, and you have to like snipe 100 people in the Crucible, and then go fucking kill 10 champions with stasis energy, and you have to melee them while they're frozen, while you're battling with other people that are in your fire team trying to do the exact same thing. And just like that's fucking. Unless I know it's worth it, I'm not doing it.
There's a lot in Destiny.
Yes.
A lot. And maybe I'm free. I don't know. For the first, we are almost there. We are almost at raid level and the soft cap, and pretty soon the number stops going up, and kind of you start trying to specialize and stuff. But
what is soft cap? Like, what is raid level?
1250. Well, the raid starts at 1230. Soft cap is 1250, and you can use pinnacle gear to get to 1260 plus your artifact.
I got to 1260 today.
Oh, braggarts! I mean, we're like what, plus
like
12 on the artifact or something like that.
Yeah, the artifacts cover in those last two numbers, but I think I need like 3 more pieces of 50 gear, and then I'm good to go.
Oh yeah, and then it's all just grinding out the 2 pieces of pinnacle a week or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fucking at that point. Like even today, I was fucking running around doing stuff. I just like farmed cores for a couple hours, and then I was just like, I fucking don't really have anything to do. Like I'm fucking done. Like of course there's always something you can go do, but I was just like, what the fuck's the point? Like I have enough shit. I could keep playing some things, but I've done every possible thing I possibly can do because I have nothing but free time. So
it's like getting into an MMO. So you're at the end game point where you've done everything, and now all you're going to do is once a week log on for raids, pretend that you still like the game during the raids, and then log off and forget about it for a week.
Minor incremental upgrades along the way.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with. I like that. This is the part that I've been excited to get to where I can just like hop on, and I'm excited for once we do the raid because then I can just, if I just want to hop on and do a quick run, then do that quickly and fucking there we go. Got a couple things. I'd sit her down.
Yeah, I'd like to see that raid, and then depending on what they are like releasing I don't know, story content, I guess, for lack of a better term. They're releasing their season stuff over the weeks. So next week, like the world kind of changes week to week, where after people beat the raid now, I think it's the raid is on a space station. I don't know. You blow up a space station at some point, and now in the game, bits of the space station are raining down on the map and kind of affecting things, which is sort of neat.
I think the raid is underground on Europa. They probably blew up a satellite or something. Maybe
yeah,
I don't know.
I saw a guy going to space in that raid. You blow up something in space. Maybe a pyramid. Maybe a triangle. Maybe you blow up a pyramid.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah,
I feel like that'd be a way bigger deal.
yeah, that's true actually, because I don't think one of those have been destroyed yet.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, other than that, just been like playing Destiny and Destiny lore video up beside me on the tablet, and here we are in lockdown. People tell me it's Friday. I don't know. One day, when we're just grinding Destiny and watching lore videos. One day, a lot like the others. I also played a little bit more Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales. I think it is so fucking dope. I think Miles Morales, the character and the game, is super fucking rad. And it made me go and rewatch for like the 7th time Into the Spider-Verse, which is also so fucking rad. What a dope-ass movie.
Is it making you watch it because the story is like similar? Like, so if I haven't seen Spider-Verse, am I going to get spoilers by playing the Miles Morales game?
You'll get the very like broad stroke. I'm trying to think of a different example. Like this is like Bruce Wayne is Batman. Everyone knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. You know,
okay.
You'll get kind of those type of spoilers where like there are characters that they're like, oh, this character is this, and you're just like, okay, I know enough of Spider-Man to know this established thing.
Would you say worth picking up on PS4 or wait until you get a PS5 for it?
I remember Spider-Man playing really well on the PS4. I don't remember having any issues. That said, if you have a PS5 coming, it like looks and runs so incredibly on the PS5, and that load screen thing, it like going into a hideout just instantly and coming right out, it is still, every time I play that game, I was like, wow, this feels like the next gen.
I do not have a PS5 coming.
Yeah, if you like Spider-Man, I think it's totally worth playing. Granted, I don't know how it performs on the PS4. I'm assuming performs exactly like Spider-Man did. It's basically the same game plus a bit more.
Do you think it's going to be?
Yep, it is. It's standalone.
Think it's going to be talked about at Game of the Year? You think it's
yes,
getting up there?
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think it's.
Are you the only one who's played it?
No, Brando's platinumed it already. It's not very long.
Wow.
It's not very long. It's even shorter than the already very short Spider-Man. It seems like it might be. I don't know. I've barely played. It feels like I've played like maybe 2 hours, and I'm like 40% of the way through the story. But I've just been kind of sticking to the story.
Yeah, I remember Spider-Man was about 20 or so. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, and this has all the same. There are crimes to stop, and there are collectibles to get, and I need to go track down pigeons. Someone's like, oh, my pigeons escaped. It is very much the known quantity, but Miles can do a few things as Spider-Man that Peter Parker can't. And those abilities he has are so fucking fun in that game. They're like, but like, I don't want to give too much away because it's kind of fun to just discover that stuff. But it reminds me a lot of Control, where like the abilities feel really bombastic, and like you are just slamming dudes into walls, and like 1,000 bricks are raining down, and particles are going fucking everywhere, and like it really feels like you're just like leveling the city when you're using your special Miles powers. You should watch, if you haven't seen Spider-Verse, you should watch Spider-Verse first. I think
you should watch Spider-Verse.
It's an hour, really good, and 40 minutes or so, and it is. You should watch it. You should watch it. I don't really like animated films all that much usually, and I remember people telling me to watch Spider-Verse. I'm like, animated Spider-Man, I don't know. But it's fucking. You should watch it. You should watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's off Netflix now. So
on Disney.
Oh, it's on Netflix now.
Oh no, yeah, now it's on Netflix. Just came to Netflix.
Yep.
That's where I watched it.
It was on Netflix like 2 months after it was released in theaters, I think, and then disappeared for a while after that.
It's back
but
now.
If it's back on there, then maybe I will check it out.
That was 1,000. The reason I even brought it up was I was playing Spider-Man, and I was like, I wonder how this looks on HDR. I haven't watched this since I got my new TV. I bet this will look real rad, and just ended up watching the whole movie. It's so good. Oh, it's got such a good soundtrack and everything. Love it.
Yeah, tunes are banging.
Best Spider-Man movie. Have you guys been following any of the like Marvel Spider-Man news?
I see what's kind of put in the Discord.
Yeah, do you see that? I don't. I mean, it's all scuttlebutt about the multiverse and everything, because I guess who is it? Raimi is directing Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, I think it's being directed by Sam Raimi, if I Maybe I should verify
so.
that. Raimi famous for his Spider-Mans, and people are like, but ever since Into the Spider-Verse, everyone has been so sure that there's some kind of a multiverse thing where all the Spider-Men will be like brought together, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and the rest, Tom Holland. And I don't know how much. I don't even know how much I want to say. It seems like that might be happening. There are a lot of rumors of like, the guy who played Doc Ock is rumored to be seen on the set of the next Spider-Man and all this stuff, and in ways you're like, yeah, maybe they will bring it all together. Have you seen? I don't want to say what it is, but the end of Far From Home, the end of the last Tom Holland Spider-Man, has a character that at first seemed like just incredible casting. But even coming out of that movie, I was like, I bet that's another universe. I bet that is. I bet that's the dude we've seen before. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Like, what do you? I mean, without getting into it, what do you mean?
Is that movie out? That movie's been out long enough, right? That I can say that
for over a year. Yeah.
Right at the post-credit stinger where J.K. Simmons shows up as J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I even coming out of that movie, everyone's like, "Oh my God, J.K. Simmons is going to play J.J. in this Spider-Man." I don't think that's true. I think J.J. is playing, or I think J.K. Simmons is playing J.J. in his own version of Spider-Man, and Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man in that world, and it's all coming together, man. It's gonna be dope. Into the Spider-Verse.
Sounds dope.
That's me in a nutshell. You should watch that movie. That movie is fucking tremendous.
Yeah, I'll see if I can see it. Check it out.
What have you been up to, Kevin? What you been playing?
So a little bit more Hades. I've slowed down.
What's the consecutive runs up to?
Mid-30s right now, I think.
The pressure is so high. You can never ever fail at a run now.
It's not even that I'm playing the most OP strats either. Like every time I go in, I basically see whichever of my heirlooms, I think they're called heirlooms. I always get this wrong. Keepsakes. Whichever one of my keepsakes are the lowest level, and I'll just bring in a keepsake, level it up, and then do that for the first floor, and then see how the run's going. If I need a little help going into the next couple levels, then I'll switch to a useful keepsake. But if not, then I'll just keep leveling them up and getting them all up to 3 stars. I think I'm more than halfway at this point with the keepsakes at max level.
Are you just trying to like 100% everything at this point? Unlock everything, get every upgrade, see all the upgraded keepsakes?
I mean, that's kind of all there is left at this point. Like, there's really nothing else to do with like the rest of my runs, because basically I'm at the point where I'm 99% sure every run that I go into that game I'm going to win, so I might as well do the other things in the game while I'm winning, without sounding too arrogant at my Hades skills.
You do sound incredibly 36 runs in a row without dying.
But yeah, so I think I have 2. I'm kind of like leveling everyone up at the same time. So like every time I see a god in a run, I'll just give them a gift if I can. So I'm just kind of building all of that up all at the same time, which I think it might be screwing me over, because it seems like some of the story triggers need certain things to happen, and when the game has a whole bunch of story triggers that can trigger at once, I've read that it waits until you finish a complete storyline before triggering the next one.
It kind of makes a little sense.
If I would have focused on, let's say, raising Athena to max level, then I would have got all the Athena story stuff, and then once that's done, then I could have moved to the next one and then got all the Poseidon story stuff, and then I think it would have went a little bit quicker. But because I know I saw that Kyle got the achievement for getting the rest of the story, the epilogue story.
And you haven't got that yet?
I haven't done that one yet, no.
Oh, weird.
So it might be, like I say, it might be because he has more runs than me, so he has more opportunities for the stories to click over, because the story only happens in between runs.
Yeah, Because Kyle is shit at Hades when you just play and die in 4 seconds. You know, you
Yeah,
can get
exactly.
10,000 runs in. He says in chat, I'm giving him shit because I can see he's in chat. He says he has 120 runs. He also says, "Hey, fuck you, Kevin." That's rude.
I think I'm mid
just
50s for number of runs that I'm in that I've done.
You're in mid 50s and Kyle is in the 120s.
Yeah.
Andy, you're playing Hades, right?
You know what? Fucking haven't touched it ever since I beat my first run.
Oh no, you beat the game. It's over.
Yeah, beat the
That's
game. There's
it.
nothing else.
You want to know what did it? I was so proud of myself, and maybe I shouldn't let this make me feel bad because there's really no reason for it to do so. But I fucking asked Brando how many runs it took him, and I beat him for his first one. I asked you, Eads, how many runs it took you, and I beat you in terms of runs. Then I asked Kevin, and Kevin fucking had his first run at like 7, and I was like, well, fuck me. I'm not as good at this game as I thought I was. I don't want to play it anymore. So it depressed me. I haven't picked it up since that.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, you need to if you really want to get the trophy, then you need to beat my win streak. So it doesn't matter what you get the wins in. It's all
Yeah,
about
I
the wins.
know. I know. It just, yeah, I don't know. I got soured. Like, I legitimately was soured after that, and I just never picked it up again.
really?
And,
That's weird. What?
yeah.
But
I don't
like,
know. It just
there's so
it
many
fucking pissed
games.
me off.
You're
I just
sorry.
felt like I know it's stupid and it's nobody's fault and it's dumb that I even feel this way and I recognize that it's dumb. But I just like the whole time I was playing that game, for me it felt like it was the first game since Rocket League that I felt like this is my game. In my friends group and everybody I know, this is my fucking game where I can play it the best and I'm the greatest at it. And I just wanted to keep playing it because of that. And then as soon as I found out Kevin fucking smoked it in like 7 runs, I was like, fuck this. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm not the best at it anymore.
You should probably stop playing Destiny for the same reason. Because, sir, you are currently in a voice call with the greatest Destiny player of all time.
Yeah, whatever, man. I fucking triple your kills each time. So
Yeah, because you are that guy who's like, we need damage to get these bosses down, and he's the guy who brings the fucking shit ass weapon that no one uses because all it does is kill the little dinky enemies that you don't have a problem with anyways. And then Andy's that guy who's
Sure
like,
is.
I got the most kills, and he's that guy who's bragging about how many kills he got when we're playing Capture the Flag. That is exactly who Andy is.
I never actually have ever bragged about how many kills I've gotten at all until now, this very moment. And also, too, if fucking every single time I die waiting for a res, usually we get wiped because someone gets hit by an exploder. Oh, there's all these ads, fucking things. Oh,
Yeah, Brando's the
fucking
worst.
guy.
Man. I'm with you.
Fucking
That
guy.
guy sucks.
There we go. We can level on background since he's not here. But no, I still, honestly, though, I do want to pick Hades up again, and I do want to tackle it some more because I am very curious about that story, and it's just fun to play. It's just super satisfying, and I think the thing with Kevin aside about him making me feel like I'm not good at that game, I think I also just played so much of it at once that I just decided to take a little bit of a break, and then Destiny kind of grabbed me, and I just haven't really went back to it. So I'm starting to kind of burn on Destiny a bit. So might dip back into her here at some time and do a little more story stuff, learn a little more about that universe because it's super cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing that's happening to me right now. Like I kind of dropped off on Hades just because I'm back in my kind of semi-yearly dip back into Dungeons and Dragons Online. They had a new expansion come out in the last, I want to say, month. I'm not entirely sure when it came out. It came out recently, but I finally picked it up. This is the first expansion that I've picked up basically at release. So it's still fun.
What's
the expansion itself is Fables of the Feywild.
Okay.
So the basic story is some witches steal some pages out of a really important magic book, and they retreat to the Feywild to do some ritual, which I'm not entirely sure what they need to do, but we need to go and stop them. So we transport to the Feywild, and then deal with some archfey who are playing tricks on everyone who lives there and just fucking everything up. And
the unicorns?
Unicorns are our allies.
Okay, good.
There's like in World of Warcraft where you have a Hearthstone, you tie it to an inn, you can transport back to that inn.
Mm-hmm.
In DDO, you have taverns where you can save your soul there. So if you die in a quest, it'll transport you back to a tavern, and the innkeeper in this tavern is a unicorn, which is pretty great.
Does he have hands? How does he like serve drinks and things?
Who knows?
Hmm.
Unicorns will figure it out. They'll find a way.
Yeah, who's?
But there's some really cool quest design in this expansion that I'm totally not going to steal 100% for D&D games that I DM. Absolutely not going to happen. But there's one quest where some satyrs have taken over a rich lord's house because they wanted to throw a party there.
Hell yeah.
And the master of the house said, well, you can stay here until your party is done. So the satyrs put a magical sleep spell on the person who owns the house so that they would be able to party in this house forever. And you go in and you have to figure out a way to you have to find a loophole in the contract, essentially, so that the house is no longer the house that they were allowed to be in. So what you have to do is you have to essentially switch out the sign that calls the house its name. So you switch out the sign for something else, and then you have to go to the satyrs and be like, hey, they said the master said you could stay at his house, but this isn't his house, so guess that means you got to go. And then they get angry and try to fight you.
Change the deed.
Yeah,
sell me that house for 1 gold to make it legal, and I'll handle that.
A possibility.
Sell it back to
the
you.
master of the house was magically asleep, so
oh, you're right. Yes, of course.
Can't sell it.
Kill him. Pass to his next of kin, and then it's not his house anymore.
It's true. There were a whole bunch of different ways in my head that it could have gone, but only one way in the game, sadly.
Yeah.
See, which is what would make it a great D&D quest, because in paper D&D, there could be a ton of different ways to get out of that situation.
Yeah, that's a fun idea that I might also totally not steal.
Yeah. There was another one where a crazy old lady ran off and was saying that she had to fight a windmill because it was an evil windmill.
She's played Final Fantasy VII. It's the fucking house in the arena.
Yeah, totally.
Hell house.
And so you kind of go up to her and you're like, you're crazy. You can either tell her that she's basically crazy and there's no way this windmill is alive, or you can believe her and chase down this windmill and help her out. Turns out the windmill's alive, which is terrifying.
Yeah, never assume, especially in the Feywild still.
Yeah, Feywild.
Is that a plane? Is that its own? Can I walk to the Feywild, or do I need to get teleported to the Feywild?
I'm pretty sure it's a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think so. But the absolute coolest thing that I've witnessed in the expansion so far, and I only picked it up yesterday, so I'm only about 4 or 5 quests in, and there's 13 in the expansion. The coolest thing is I found this fountain out in the wilderness area of the Feywild, where you go around and you kill enemies, and where you head to all these quest areas. And there was a fountain called the Fountain of Wonder, and I thought to myself, well, a fountain of wonder, I'm gonna try and drink from it, because you drink from the Fountain of Wonder, obviously wondrous things are gonna happen. What do you think happened, Matt?
I'm gonna say you were cursed with a never-ending. You wondered about everything. You were cursed with curiosity.
That would be good for paper D&D. It killed me.
Right. Okay.
It just killed me. And as soon as it happened, I just started killing myself laughing. I'm like, this is so great. They just added this little fountain that if you walk up to it and click it, you just die.
That's for paper D&D, that's a thing that I always struggle with is like, if I describe something to you as the DM in paper D&D and then you go to interact with it, I'm like, you die. You'd be like, you fucking dick. Why would you 1,000% just tricked me into killing my character?
I mean, what kind of a person just drinks from a magical fountain and they find it in the middle of nowhere?
Our
that's
entire
really
D&D group. Everyone.
True, yeah.
We have, yeah.
You see what appears to JR's already in it. He doesn't even finish. I'll get whatever it is. What is it?
I'll drink it.
Is it a horse? I'm getting in.
What is that? Acid? Let me drink it.
Yeah.
I'll drink it.
I mean,
yeah, actually, Amber did that too.
Yep. Acid. the very first action of our very first game of Rolling Reckless. You guys were locked in a cell and got some acid.
That's right.
Use how you will. Theoretically, melt the locks. And Amber drank it. I drink
Amber
the
says
vial,
drink
she
it.
said. It's-
The logic was there. It could have been anything. Could have been a potion of gaseous form. She could have
Not wrong.
just walked right through the bars.
Yep, could have been.
Of course, inspecting the vial and maybe smelling it and testing
looking
it out
at it
first.
in any kind of capacity.
See, these are things you learn after playing D&D for a while.
Yeah,
Much like
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons Online is don't drink from the Fountain of Wonder.
I bet
You
there's
have to
something
learn.
with that fountain. I bet you got to go back when you have a buff.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, I don't think I've played a lot of video games, and if I ran into that fountain, I'd be like, I'm sure there's a way to interact. If there truly isn't, that's good shit. That's very
Genius.
good shit. But
The one last thing I wanted to mention, because I know not a lot of people play Dungeons and Dragons Online, especially I don't think probably any of the people who listen to the show probably play it. But they introduced this super cool mechanic. I believe it is in this expansion. I honestly don't know because there was one expansion that I completely missed, and like I say, haven't really played for a year. But they have this cool system where, like how you have socketed items in a lot of games, you get an item with a socket piece in it. You can put things into the socket to make it more powerful. They have ways in this one to extract the power of old raid items. So like the level cap is currently level 30. Just with power creep in general in this game, the best loot comes out of the two most recent expansions. So they added an ability to extract the powers from raid items from the previous expansions and the previous raids that they had in the game way back in the day when it first came out 15 years ago. And you can turn it into gems to put into your sockets on your new items.
and then when
So
you
it's
say like take the powers, like unique effects that those.
Yeah, like the
Legendaries
unique
would have?
effects that your legendaries would have had. So you can take them out and turn them into a gem and then put the gem into your new stuff so that you can still use the items that have now become obsolete but are still super cool
Yeah, that's dope.
that you want to keep the abilities with you.
That is super cool.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it before, so it's definitely an interesting system that they added in.
DDO.
But yeah, who knows how long I'll play it. I'll definitely play it long enough to see everything in the expansion, with the exception of maybe the raids, because I don't
Oh, you gotta
I don't
know.
really raid anymore. So
You gotta know how many have you done DDO raids?
I did when the level cap was level 20. I got one of my characters up to level 20 and stayed at max level for a long time because there's a reroll system like Call of Duty where you prestige or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So there's a reroll system, and I usually do the reroll system because I like playing the quests.
Yeah.
So there was one time when the level cap was 20 that I did a bunch of raiding and raided for about 3 or 4 months and did all the raids and got all the best gear and all that stuff. But I haven't done that in 10 years or so.
It's kind of amazing that you're still playing it.
Yeah, I dip
All
back
these years
in
later.
once a year or so, maybe twice a year. Play for a couple weeks, couple months, see how it goes.
There was a new World of Warcraft expansion came out. Shadowlands.
I heard about that. Yes.
First one that I have not bought in many, many years. For the first World of Warcraft expansion I've not bought. Didn't even know it came out. Was so deep in the Destiny quagmire. I was like, what? World of what? I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to dip back into this one. There was a moment where last month sometime where I installed World of Warcraft and I'm like, well, the expansion's coming out. Maybe I'll play again and see if it catches me and see if I want to get back in for the expansion. But I installed it and then promptly had to uninstall it for Baldur's Gate 3, so just was never in the cards.
Your drive is smaller than we have terabytes in the new consoles, and those are tiny. You have a 500 gig SSD is the only hard drive
I have a
space you have.
250.
A
I have a 250.
250. Jesus, you literally cannot install Call of Duty on your computer. It is maybe now you can with the selective
Maybe, who knows?
only the multiplayer or whatever. But
See, that's why I had to delete Audacity and had to reinstall it because I literally needed those 2 megabytes of space, because that 2 megabytes was very important to me.
Anything else you've been playing other than DDO?
No, that's kind of it for me.
Andrew Captain. Did you fall asleep? What happened?
Did you mute him?
Oh,
No, I think
Muted.
he muted himself. This is vintage. This is vintage Andy on the Xbox. I haven't muted him. It's not me. You're still talking, but we're not hearing anything. I don't know if he thinks I'm kidding or not, but
I think he's just fucking playing with us. I think
it might be.
I
This
think
is
just.
he says he's not. I haven't muted you on my end, Andy, so you'll have to figure that out, I guess. I truly haven't. Here, I can mute and unmute. Mute, unmute. I truly, so you're lucky this happens on Xbox Live. Like, Andy, are you muted? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I've been muted for like an hour.
Damn it, we kept telling you, stop killing the ads. We need your help on the boss.
That's weird. Live recording, folks. Try to rejoin the call, maybe. Set your devices and try and rejoin that call. That's really weird. Really weird. What have you been playing, Oliver, while we wait for?
Ghosts. I mentioned it earlier. I've been trudging on with Ghost.
Ghost. One ghost.
One Ghost. The
You were
Ghost,
the ghost
of
of
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on air last time. Yeah, we were in the studio. It was you, me, and Brando, and I met Kyle that day. I don't think he played it, but like, I sort of miss like that. Hey, play more stealthy, more ghost like, or play more honorable or and samurai like. I thought that they might be going that route with this game, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, that would be kind of a cool thing, right? And then you could tailor your fighting style to that, either or, instead of like just mixing up both and then just having your uncle fucking shit on you for being a thief in the night.
I think you can be as honorable as anything, and Uncle whatever his name is there is still gonna shit on you at the end of the day. What's his name?
Yeah.
He's not Uncle Sakai. You're Lord Sakai.
You're Lord Sakai. He's uncle. Killed my uncle.
Who did this?
The greater Lord.
Yeah, Lord. Damn it!
Sakai.
All I remember is because it was Lord Sakai.
Yeah.
In Sakai.
I don't know.
It's not important. It's good performances.
No,
in that
it really
game.
isn't. Are there? You think so?
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
whatever big bad main Mongol man. I really dig
The main Mongol is really good.
Yeah, and like the singer, a lot of the performances are pretty good.
I guess so. I went straight from The Last of Us to this game, and to me, it was like, holy, The Last of Us is like very choreographed and very directed fucking conversations with a lot of emotion and a lot of heavy shit that they're saying, to this one where it's just like two heads talking.
Canned animations
And
where
they're-
like it's like Mass Effect. You see that fucking hand go up the same way every time, and
Exactly.
yeah, I'm with you.
And at first I was like really jarred by it, but now I'm just kind of used to it. I'm like, yeah, this is video games. Like fucking Naughty Dog and The Last of Us are just like a cut above, and I can't really expect that from every goddamn game.
Their mouths don't even move in a lot of those. Of those like over the top cutscenes. They don't even fucking have lip syncing.
I always have a mask on, and I have that big fucking rice patty hat to cover my face because it just looks mysterious and cool, and that's how I play it. So the the faces don't really bug me that way. Do we have Andy? Are you back, bud?
Am I?
Yeah, there you are.
Hey.
What happened, Andy?
Yeah, I unplugged my headset, so sorry, Eads. I fucked up the recording on my end too, so the claps ain't gonna line up anymore.
Oh, really?
There's a new one for you. I put a little cue marker though, so you'll be able to see where it.
Okay, let's all go back to time.is. We'll have to do the clap right now. I'll go back to time.is right now. You're the one who unplugged your headset. Don't give me attitude.
Time.now. Let's go.
Time.is.
Oh no, not time.biz.
You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Time.bike.
Okay.
Let's do it at 55 here. 55. perfect. Now we're synced up. Why? Oliver just starts laughing. He just finds the clap so fucking funny.
Clapping is fun.
Crazy.
Well,
It's
like every
fun.
other
It feels good.
podcast.
So, anyways, get ready to do that again when I fucking unplug the thing again at some point.
Okay, everybody gets one. That was your one.
I'm gonna borrow Kevin's. Do you want me to go over my video games now quickly?
Sure. Oliver, do you have any closing thoughts on Ghost? We're just making sure you're back, I think.
Yeah, no. If you have anything else to finish up here.
Ghost is good. I'll finish it off, and Kev, you can take it for a whirl. I mentioned briefly how Control's really not grabbing me.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of stuff going on in that game, and I know it's vague to be weird, or it's weird. It's vague to be weird, and that's kind of the thing that they're going for. It's just in a way that house is interesting. It also feels very disjointed and kind of empty to me.
What do you mean?
And
there's
I know
a clear cut logic that the house follows.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit going on. And
ask me anything about I am an expert. What do you want to know?
I don't know what I want to know. It's just it's weird, and
Wise
I
answer.
know it's meant to do that, and it's meant to sort of lure you into to keep playing the game and figure stuff out. It's just it's kind of doing the opposite for me, where it's like being weird and it's kind of off-putting because nothing's really making sense, and I'm like, I don't really know.
Like,
I know
what doesn't make sense? What doesn't, like what? Name one thing.
Can't
do it. Airtight
that part
game.
where I forget what the situation was, but it was the phone.
Yeah.
Hotline. That phone. Yeah, the hotline. And I was supposed to get to it, and then all of a sudden I'm in a like hotel room or a hotel lobby, and I'm ringing the bell to sort of open the doors, and again it's unique and it's weird and it's interesting and it's really piquing my interest, but also doing the opposite at the same time.
Did you know so anytime you see a weird sort of grayed out you know the cutscenes look where it's like, oh, Max Payne is basically endless grind. It's like fragments, and you can just sort of see staticky images. And like the one around the hotline, like hotline, talk to the dead, or whatever. Every time you get one of those, you can go into your menu. You can go into the hotline in the menu, and you can listen. You'll get like a full cutscene where all the are cut in, and the one right before the motel is like, the Ocean View Motel. It's a paracausal space. Blah, 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 blah. Like they kind of lay things out a little bit more. You learn about the rule of threes, and
that's another thing is you and Brando talked about like all the codex stuff that's in that game, and I've started off reading all of them and kind of getting into all of them, but then it just started to get a little too abstract for me, and I'm like, I can't follow this. I can't follow the thread here, and again, I know it's meant to do that. It's just for me, I'm like, this is just nonsense to me right now. Yeah. Like, does it ever kind of pull itself together and kind of?
I mean, you're looking for your brother. Like, I need to hear like what you're getting lost on in particular, where it might just be like weird, like vagary about the world is kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. And I'm very early into the game, and again, it's
did you
just
being
weird to be weird. Yeah,
it's not being weird. Like that sounds very dismissive. It is weird with a purpose and an intent. It is not weird. It is not that last season of fucking what was that show that the robots
Lost? What?
Westworld.
Oh, Westworld.
It's not that last season of Westworld, which was truly and literally just weird because they had a shitty show they had to try to like cover up. There is purpose and intent to its weirdness.
I know there is, and you guys say that the payoff to this game is very, very worth it. I'm just a little early in that game, and I'm not getting over that hump.
It's much more
Yet.
about the journey. So if you're not enjoying the journey, you won't. There's no big like, oh, it all makes so much sense at the end. It's more like a
It's
Control 2 will surely answer some of these questions.
You guys told me it's relatively short, so I'm gonna trudge through it and experience it, and hopefully I get that payoff to me. No.
Big triangle in the sky. You must be like, when you say you've just started, you must be like literally 20 minutes into the game. Because you go upstairs, you meet Ati, he's like, a short job, a couple of hours.
Yep.
And you go do the job, and then you find the hotline. It's like less than an hour for sure. Unless you just got lost in the lobby. An hour.
The way you guys play games, sure, you guys probably played this whole part in one sitting, but it's several hours.
There's like 20 minutes of you just walk through. There's not even any gameplay. You don't even like have any powers yet. You have what? Like, do you even have throw?
Yeah, I have throw. And that thing's super cool.
You're like
power. Fucking things up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very early in this game.
All right. It's going to be, at this pace, this will be a long game for you.
I started this game and I started Ghosts. And again, I gravitated to Ghosts a lot more than this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Some people like bad games. That's okay.
Yeah, and I'm notorious for liking bad games.
Control is totally not everybody's cup of tea.
You guys have talked it up that I want it to be my cup of tea, or at least I want to know what you guys are talking about so I can listen to that fucking Control cast.
Mm-hmm. So wait till you start meeting the board. Yeah. Just wait till you meet the board.
Don't let these guys talk up some of their shit, because there's some things they like that they're like, this is the greatest fucking thing in the world, oh my god. And then to the rest of us normal people that like enjoying good average content that we can absorb in one sitting and understand with our very normal brains, we look at that shit and we're like, this isn't the greatest fucking thing ever. This shit's complicated as hell. There's 400 different avenues. I don't even think
like
this thing
if you're
knows what it
describing
is.
Metal Gear, Andy, you have picked the wrong fight, my friend.
I'm not looking for a fight. You are really coming after Oliver here over this game. And I'm just saying, sometimes you get super passionate about something and think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Somehow.
And to other people, we're just like, it's a little, I don't know, it seems a little too involved and complicated.
Has somehow taken hours to this is Breath of the Wild all over again. Is Oliver just not playing a game and he's like, I'm playing the game. Yeah, I got to the part with the throw.
Yeah, I met that one character, Ati.
Yeah, remember the scientist, doctor. I'm on to you. Yeah,
I'm very early in the game. I don't deny
Super early. Yeah, you should keep playing. I look forward to meeting the board. And,
it may not be several hours, but it also is not just 20 minutes in.
I mean, you want me to pull my Control playthrough and see exactly how long it took me to get to the hotline?
Yes, the hotline. Yes, I am curious now.
All right, fill the
have either of you two played Control, Andrew or Kevin?
I have not. No.
No, the reason I never touched it is because every single conversation about Control was, oh, this is a really good game. It runs like shit, but it's a really good game. And that always was a roadblock for me. Anytime somebody needs to say every time they're telling me about how good a game is that it runs like shit, but I should just look past that, it usually turns me off of it.
But meanwhile, the man plays Marvel Avengers, literally the worst running game to ever come out on the last consoles.
Don't you fucking come in here and attack me with that. I was one of the only ones in this group who said I am not going to buy this game, and I got bullied into buying it. Second off, I also have said multiple times that I just completely fell off that game, and I recognize that game's terrible, and I don't ever want to play it again.
You should play Control.
The one game that I did play, I will say that everybody always talked about it running really bad, was Jedi Fallen Order, and I really enjoyed that game, but despite it having its issues. So
beans.
Yeah, that one was a little bit rough, but it was still a fun game. So I totally get it. A game can run rough and it can still be good, but that was the roadblock for me with Control, and I just never got over that hump.
When it came out, it was very bad. It's been patched and fixed now. It's you would never know playing it now. You'd be like, oh, this runs like it's on these old consoles. But when it came out, it was like it would hitch in the pause screens, and like it was broken when it came out.
Yeah, no, I do want to play that game now. I'm very curious about it. It looks interesting.
I have a lot of videos.
I mean,
don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this.
I got prepped for the technical hiccups of this game, and I don't find it egregious or like offensive at all. Again, I've only got the one fucking throw power, and I've noticed that like things sort of start hitching at that point, and I guess it could only get worse from there. But it's not bad. I'm not offended by it.
Oh, I didn't actually. I didn't stream it. I played through and just recorded the raw footage for the spoiler cast. That's what it was. I can't call your bluff, Oliver, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm actively looking for the raw footage, but I don't think I can call your bluff.
Well, I guess
Not
we'll just
bluffing.
have to
We'll
stop
never
the
know.
stream right now.
Can we get a pause here on the
Ease-
stream real
Ease
fast?
will
I'm gonna
Play
you
control.
can just play for 20 minutes,
play the first 20
apparently.
minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be
I'll
back.
start playing now, and before we get the emails, I'll let you know. Any other games, Hoj?
Nay.
Andy,
Nay.
we lost you last time.
Yeah, I got to make sure I don't unplug it this time. Otherwise, we're going to go off on another tirade. We'll never get to my games.
That's right.
I have played some video games. We kind of talked a whole bunch about Destiny 2, and all I have to add to the conversation that we had was I don't feel guilty about it like you are, Maddie. I've actually been really enjoying my time at that game, but I am getting to the point where I am ready to, maybe take a little bit of a break. I'm starting to get to the point now. I'm at the power level for that raid where I just want to get the raid done, and I think I'm going to start really putting the pressure on the fellas to let's pick a date and let's fucking do it, so I could get it out of my life. Or at least I can get it into a casual section of my life. Besides that, I actually have begun the process of tearing myself away from Destiny. I need to finish up that Mario All-Stars pack and beat Mario Galaxy, so I've started playing that again.
Oh, yeah.
A couple things to add on that. First thing, still a fantastic fucking game. It's just tremendous. Mario at some of his best. Unlike Mario 60.
Does it run at like? Did they do anything to Galaxy to like? Because I know 64 is untouched. Like runs at
No, they
24
did
frames
the
a second.
same thing. They did the same thing to all of them. They essentially just gave them like a fucking Windex and a fucking paper towel on the window, and shine this up a little bit, make it less foggy looking.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Otherwise, it runs pretty much exactly the same. It just doesn't have that like wee fogginess and stuff and kind of shitty blacks and all that. So it's good. Yeah, nothing major, but I mean, still, it's as someone I would never if I would still say that it was a very bad deal for that whole package for what they did with those games. Like it just was fucking poorly put together. They did not do those games justice. They could have done so much more with that. And they chose not to, which is a real shame. But that being said, and I've said it a couple times, I thought that these would be kind of just like a nostalgia kick for me jumping into them, where I was just going to like poke around and be like, oh, this is neat to see Sunshine again, blah, blah, blah. But I had a lot of fun playing 64. I had a lot of fun with Sunshine, and I might honestly complete Galaxy. Like I beat that thing twice as a kid, and I'm running through it again now, and I'm making sure I complete every section as I'm going, and yeah, I'm all over it. It's really good. The one thing I will say, and this is going back on something I said on a previous podcast, you asked me, Matt, about how Galaxy was on handheld because it has the Wii controls, of course, like pointing and stuff, because you got to get the star bits and whatnot. And I said that it worked fairly good in handheld mode because you just poke the star bits to grab them. I now retract that. It is fucking absolute garbage and frustrating to do because the levels are starting to get difficult. And I got to the ice world where, I don't know if you remember, you can actually like skate by like doing his spin, and then Mario will skate on any ice surface. Yeah,
waggle the fucking Wiimote.
Yeah, and I mean, you just push a button to get him to skate if you're in handheld mode. But then if you're like, there's some areas where like you're just moving at too much of a clip, and you have to focus on making jumps that I can't fucking push the goddamn star bits and use the controllers at the same time and do all this at once. Like you have to be able to just like flick your hand around to like collect things as you're flying past shit while you're skating.
You don't need to get all those star bits though. You can just leave them be.
Kevin, when a big thing explodes and a bunch of fucking star bits explode everywhere, I'm not just ignoring them. I gotta get the damn things, okay? I'm not gonna not poke the screen to try to get them. even if it results in dying. It's unavoidable. So that's my only gripe with it. So I haven't been able to play it in handheld, which I think is why I haven't gotten it done yet, because I blasted through 64 in Sunshine pretty quick. This one's taking me a little longer just because when I'm at home, I'm usually playing Destiny or something else. But now I'm making an effort to sit down on the couch and get it done. And
Yeah.
no, it works great. I really like Galaxy. Honestly, has been the most enjoyable one to play on Switch because I think the Switch is a better piece of hardware that still uses some of those Wii mechanics, and it just feels a lot better to play on it.
Yeah, Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are like some of the most high. I think Galaxy 2 specifically is like one of the most highly regarded 3D Mario games.
Galaxy 2 was tremendous. And also, too, it's a crime that Nintendo didn't fucking put that one on this All-Stars thing. Like, I can't believe they didn't do it. Like, come on. Seriously, you couldn't just fucking pack that on there as well, too, you dickheads?
There's no... this is normally where I'd say, like, well, I'm sure they want to sell you a full-price remake copy down the line, but, like, there's no common sense and no logic you can follow with Nintendo, where, like, yeah, they might sell a remaster of Galaxy 2, and maybe you can only buy it for 2 months, like this fucking All-Stars thing for some reason, and they're so weird.
It'll probably be 3 years down the line they'll do one, but it'll only be a DLC for people who already got the first pack that was only available for 2 months.
Oh yeah, so
That'd
if you
be
didn't
very
fucking
Nintendo.
buy it in that time frame, it'd make me feel like I was part of an exclusive club, so I'd be fired up about that, but also annoyed. But yeah, Galaxy 2 is fantastic. I know I've spoke to Brando about it a lot, and he'll probably never get to it, which is unfortunate, but he never played it, and I was like, fuck man, it's such a good game. Fuck.
I've also never played Galaxy 2.
Oh shit, yeah, it was very good. Like,
Waiting for
and
that
it was
remake.
also too, I remember you're gonna be waiting for a long time, brother. I remember getting it and thinking, oh fuck, Nintendo's just trying to make and like I'm thinking this is a young Andy too. They're just fucking trying to make a buck off fucking the first Galaxies because it was so good. And then I played it and I was like, holy fucking shit, that game fucking rocked as well.
Well, and it was like one of the first mainline Mario games where the sequel was just the same game with a 2. Like no other, there's never been a Mario Sunshine 2, there's never been a Mario 64 2, other than like Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, like it's you're right, and it was just such a good game. How could you not? Like, fuck, it makes total sense that they decided to keep stacking on that. It's just, we just finished shitting on Nintendo. Props to them for being able to do that, make a sequel that stood up with or was better than the original.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to go play that now, but I'm not digging out my Wii. Anyways, that's Galaxy. It's going good. And then the last thing, Star Wars Squadrons had a free trial that I didn't realize.
Galaxies,
yeah,
far away.
Sorry, I just like to get to the point. I don't like to try to think of cheesy segues. I just get into it.
Speaking of getting into it.
I started playing the trial for Star Wars Squadrons. At first,
Game Pass, the like 10-hour.
Yeah, I didn't know it was connected to Game Pass.
Yeah, well, through EA Play, but EA Play is through Game Pass now,
which is friggin' kick ass. I love that. So I've been playing it a little bit. Originally, I had the trial's working. I had absolutely no intentions of getting this game. Now I think I might pick it up. It's on sale right now too, and honestly, it's kind of fun. I'm really enjoying it. They only let you play the first. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off there.
They only let you play the first couple story missions, so I haven't really gotten a lot of that. I can't tell if it's really going to be a good story or anything like that. But overall, the gameplay is pretty fun. And the thing that kind of turned me onto it was, first off, the systems in it are kind of fun. As opposed to Battlefront 2, where you can do the starship stuff there, it's kind of very vanilla. They don't really get in depth with trying to control your ship and adjusting shields and lasers and all that type of stuff. Oh, hello, kitty. Whereas this one does. And, it's nothing super difficult to figure out, but there is definitely a bit of a learning curve there where learning your boost management and just, learning when to hit it to the shields and fire up the lasers. And, you have different types of ships and different rockets and stuff you could use. It's neat. If you like flying games and like fighter games and stuff, it's got a little bit more depth to it that is really cool. I'm digging. And then the one game mode I played where it's I can't remember what it's called, but it's just like essentially a war mode where you have a rebel fleet and then an empire fleet, and you kind of have your battle line or whatever, and you're both just fighting back and forth to try to take each other's starship out.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. I liked it.
it's like a tug of war thing, right? Where
Yeah.
and they have that in Battlefront, I think, right? Where you like you got to fight all the way to the end. If you get knocked back, then you're playing this middle map again. Then you got to fight up to the ship and beat them up in the ship. Otherwise, you get put back to ground.
Yeah, essentially kind of the same thing. They didn't have anything like that in the Starfighter mode, but now
Yeah,
in this
not
specific
in
game,
Battlefront.
yeah, but now in this specific game they have it. And it's kind of cool because it's like the system is neat where it's based off of like a morale system. So when your team's morale's high, you're pushing farther onto the other side. So you get your morale up by killing enemy pilots that are actually other people controlling them, not AIs, and taking out, just different destroyers and stuff like that. And just slowly pushing your way. And then eventually, like, even when you get to the starship, it's not just fucking shoot the starship. It's like, okay, first you have to take out their main gun on the bottom. So you have to go down there, but you can't shoot the gun from the outside of the shield. You have to fly into the shield, do a run, shoot it a bunch, then fly back out, then kind of do a loop back around. Once your ship starts to break down, it doesn't just automatically heal. You have to retreat back to your side, park in the kind of repair bay, and then your ship gets repaired, it refuels your rockets, and then you fucking flip back around, you head back out into the fight
That's
and
kind of dope.
do that. Yeah, and it was really cool too when I was doing the Empire side. You can do this on like the Rebel side too. But in your main Star Destroyer, you can fly right into the hangar, and like the animation isn't anything special or anything, but you fly in there, and then you can flip out your ship, and then fly back out again and head back out to the battle. So I thought that stuff was really cool. I thought the repair thing was really neat because so many games just do a simple, stay away from the fighting and you're going to automatically heal. Whereas this is like, no, we're going to make a Star Wars ship game, but we're going to give it some layers that makes it special as opposed to like Battlefront 2 or whatever, right? Like there's a little more to think about. And yeah, I'm really digging it. It's fun. It's like $31 or something right now on sale, so I'm thinking I might pick it up. It's fun just throw on and do a couple of rounds of it.
The very limited amount of it I played, it seemed very cool to just be in the ships, and because there's a button where you can kind of like turn your head and like look around, and you realize pretty fast that the X-wings have open cockpits above them, which is cool because you can like look behind you and see people flying around, especially if you're playing in VR or something. The TIE fighter is just a fucking entirely closed-in sphere with a tiny, tiny, tiny little viewport that only looks forward, and like. There was just something about sitting in a TIE fighter in that game that I'm like, damn, like, these things are so... I mean, I always knew the TIE fighters were made to be disposable. They don't have shields, yada, yada, yada. But, like, Jesus, these things are, like, held together with duct tape in here. It's wild.
Yeah, TIE fighters are all about the numbers. They're not about the quality. They want to overwhelm. They don't want to fucking give their pilots a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it's even neat, too, because when you're flying a TIE fighter, you don't have shields, so you don't have that option to divert power to shields. You just have your boosters and you have your lasers, whereas if you're in an X-Wing, it has shield capabilities. So if you want to move it towards the shields, you can bump it over there. That was also the other thing, too, actually, because you are sitting in the cockpit. I was going to say, compared to Battlefront 2, where you can jump into that viewport, it's very uncomfortable to be in that view. Like, it's just too much happening at once. It kind of gives you a bit of a headache and makes you dizzy. Whereas this game, I felt like it did a very good job of making you not feel sick being in the first person perspective of sitting in one of those things. Because, yeah, even when you're flipping and stuff, at no point do I feel disoriented.
It's only first person, right? There's no third person.
No, you have to play sitting in the cockpit because you got to be able to see all your dials and shit.
Yeah, and
like your radar and stuff.
Can you do the thing? I can't remember from the beta. Can you do the thing that they do in? They don't do it in Star Wars. Oh, they do it in the last Star Wars. They do it where a ship is flying one direction, turns off the thrusters and spins, but has all its inertia, so it's like now it's moving backwards. And
yes. I haven't done it and I haven't seen it done. And I actually shouldn't even say yes that I'm 100% sure, but I saw something when I was looking at the controls where it was like push down left stick and completely like just do a donut or whatever and fucking flip the whole thing around. Like it kills your power, you flip, and then I don't fucking know how it works, but there was something I read.
Yeah, not I don't mean like a U-turn maneuver like in Star Fox where it's like and you spin around. It's more it's so hard to describe. Where like
no, I get what you're trying to say. Was it what in the second Star Wars movie? Was it what Poe did there at the beginning, where he like killed it and then he flipped right around the guy and got behind him?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think, and that was what I thought about when I read this. I'm pretty sure it was describing how to do that maneuver, and I was like, I fucking got to get used to like diverting power to my shields first, and like remembering that when I'm shooting a guy to like flip it to lasers. Like I'm not ready for that shit yet. So, but I think it's in there.
Yeah, cool. Star
Yeah,
Wars
it's neat.
Squadrons.
Yeah.
Any other
That's
games,
all I got.
Andy?
Nope.
It's you. Let's take a quick break here. Does anyone need a break, or should I just put one in post?
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna go grab some water. Like 2 seconds here.
Yeah, all right. We'll take a quick
Yeah,
break here,
I'll take a quick one.
both in real and recorded life, and see you on the other side of this musical break. Let's come back and talk about some news. Meat sent me a link here. Top story tonight. PS5 users are reportedly getting banned for selling PlayStation Plus collection unlocks to PS4 owners. Don't remember, if you bought a PS5 and had PlayStation Plus, you got access to that new PlayStation Plus collection, all the like God of War and Red Dead and all the not just first party, but the big games from last year. It turns out if you let somebody log into your account, even if they don't have a PS5, it'll give them access, and then Sony will ban you. So don't do that. Let's see what I got here for some news. Really short news week here. We'll probably blast through most of this. I saw people lining up today for PS5s here in Alberta, even though we're in state of emergency lockdown. Don't fucking line up. Sony wants to remind you. Sony wanted to remind you that their consoles were not available in store at launch, but they will be before the end of the year. They say more units on the way. PS5 they call their biggest console launch ever. And I believe the PS5 is the biggest console launch ever. I don't think it's just Sony's biggest console launch.
Is that like biggest as in most units shipped, or like most demand? Like how do they measure biggest launch ever?
That probably most units shipped in the first 24 hours. I honestly have no idea. And this one was such a weird one too, where like some people put in pre-orders that they aren't getting until December. Did that count in the initial run of sales? It's who knows. Like a lot of awards, completely meaningless. A Red Dead remaster may have leaked. There was a posted on Amazon, showed something called the Red Dead Outlaws collection for PS5. The art had John and Arthur on it, very much in the stylized kind of red and black. And the listing on the posting here says Red Dead Redemption The Outlaws collection takes players on a great adventure across the American frontier. The deepest and most complex world Rockstar Games has ever created. Set in the final years of American Wild West. Play through the story of Arthur Morgan, yada, 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 yada. And the way they frame it right there, the deepest, most complex world Rockstar Games has ever created, set in the final years of the American Wild West. This is me reading between the lines, but a Red Dead 1 remaster or remake makes a lot of sense to just bundle in with Red Dead 2, which still looks incredible. Probably wouldn't touch. It says featuring a range of visual and technical enhancements, including ray tracing and faster load times for the next generation of consoles. So, who knows? I very much imagine you can just turn the dial on Red. You can just take I don't know how video games are made, but you can just take that PC version of Red Dead and put it on the consoles, probably. That probably is how things work.
Yeah. Copy from one place to the other. You're probably done.
It says featuring a new and familiar set of missions and faces. I wonder if they'll add. I don't know. I sort of wondered if maybe they would do a GTA style story expansion, maybe not to the scale of Ballad of Gay Tony, but a like Red Dead story expansion or something that might be this new set of missions and faces. And then also,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Red Dead 2.
Yeah, I'd love to go back to that world.
Let's play it again. Red Dead Online is a standalone game. Oliver, great news. You can go back to that world for just $20 a month. No, that's not true. For just $20 period, you can buy Red Dead Online, but not the single player, not the campaign.
What's that game like nowadays?
It's still the same broken shit it's always been. There's nothing to do in it. They've added more nothing to do, but it's so weird that. Hang on, maybe Grand Theft Auto is a standalone. Because I've always heard and read that Grand Theft Auto Online is raking in like billions of dollars every year and is far and away Rockstar's moneymaker.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and Okay. Let's see. When GTA's standalone online game releases. As of Screen Rant. Oh, look at that. GTA Online is coming to next-gen consoles as a standalone product in 2021. There you go. I was going to say, it seems a little backwards to bring Red Dead Online, which, I know some people enjoy it, but in the grand scheme of things is pretty poorly received and looked upon. And then there's GTA Online, which is billions of dollars every single year. It seemed a little backwards, but I guess they are both coming. Released in September, in April. The second half of 2021, they say. We'll see there. Where are we here? PS5 doesn't let you swear on Twitter. Did you guys know this? If you try to swear a screenshot from your PS5 to Twitter, it will not let you post it if you have profanities in it.
Really?
Yeah. I tried to post a screenshot of that zipper from Astrobot saying, "This fucking zipper!" And if you know the zipper, you know. And can't do it. It's not allowed. And then the last story I have, not even a story. News is so slow that I have the Game Award nominees if we give enough of a shit to talk about any of Keeley's fucking bullshit awards. Worth noting, the cutoff for these is like super early, so like Miles Morales and all the games that are coming out now will not, the big games in 2021 and 2020 will not be on it. Let's see.
Yeah, some of those games look like they're the ones that we'll have on our list too. So
yeah, they're nominees for game. Again, our list, because we do it in January, which I think makes way more sense to go later instead of earlier and then have a cutoff where like it was Smash Brothers, right? Smash Brothers won the year after it came out because it was like a weird released in the winter.
Yeah, I think Smash Brothers came out in December.
Yeah, and then I remember a year later the Game Awards, it winning these awards, and you're like, that didn't come out this year. That's weird. Game of the Year nominees are Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima Sucker Punch, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. Most of these categories are like identical.
yeah, I was scrolling through all the categories, and it's like there's a total of like 7 or 8 different games that are nominated, and they're just nominated for everything.
Yeah, pretty much some combination of Final Fantasy, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Half-Life Alyx is up here a bunch.
Yeah, Hades is in almost every category.
Yeah, I mean our Game of the Year list will honestly probably look similar. We don't play that much
like a
indie
lot of these
stuff.
games, so
yeah, we tend to, for the most part, to kind of just trend towards the big, well-received games.
Spider-Man made it in here in one.
Where? What did they
Action
nominate
adventure game. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales.
for? Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Fucking Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is also in that category.
Yeah, that must. Wait, what? It is. So is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That didn't come out this year.
Ori came out last year?
No, Ori. What?
I think
Will of the
wasn't
Wisps?
Ori like February this year or something?
Yeah,
like really
I thought that was
early.
early this year.
March 11th, 2020. Okay.
I think that came out around. It was totally February.
When did Yeah, you're right. No, it was March. Jedi Fallen Order came out in
Yeah.
November. Okay, weird. Yeah, so I guess Jedi must be the hang up. Didn't Jedi win stuff last year though? These awards, these stupid fucking awards. They're dumb already. It's a hate relationship. I bring them up every year just to rag on them. I will
I
say
don't know about everybody else, but I'm glad we touched on these.
I will say I really like the musical performances they have. I really, really love the big like musical score they do of all the main games that year. It's usually my favorite thing from the Game Awards.
They should just do like an hour of fucking the music.
Yes. Oh yes. Video games
Just have an
live.
orchestra just giving her. Yeah.
It's too bad we can never. They usually do have an orchestra. It's too bad we can never go to events again because fuck, would I ever like to go to video games live?
Soon.
Yeah.
It's
I'll see. I'm just browsing through to see if there's any of these other categories I think worth reading here. Best community support. What does that mean? What is community support? Is that's
Like
not
forums and stuff, I think.
yeah, that's
people-
not developer support, right? That's like the community.
people giving a fuck about the game, I guess. I don't.
Community support nominated for Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant. You can take Valorant off that list.
You could
What's-
probably also take Fall Guys off that list as well too, and
Fucking-
Apex and Fortnite. Those don't seem like community games.
None of these.
Is it like maybe streamers?
Well, no. So
Yeah,
there are like
that makes
best streamer
sense.
categories and things. I just did not include
Oh.
those. Oh no, I did. Sorry, Content Creator of the Year. Your nominees are Matthew Eads, Kevin
Howdy.
Meyer, Oliver Aguilar. No, I don't know. There's some fucking
Ooh.
people I don't give two fucks about, man.
I
My
have
competition.
literally never heard of any of these people.
I've heard of
I haven't heard
Alana
of these
Pierce
ones either.
and Tim the Tat. I've heard of all of these people, but
Oh, really?
Of course, you have. You're
Yeah, these are
they're
your
all
people.
they're all wildly more
Yeah.
successful and talented than myself. I don't give a fuck about them. Best
we don't know if
esports?
that's necessarily true. Just because they're on that damn list, Deeds, does not mean they're better than you. I'd take you fucking any day over these jabronis.
Oh, yes.
You know what? Let's nominate the Talking Reckless podcast next year. And you know what? I bet you it's an honor to just be nominated.
Yeah, honor to
Yeah.
be nominated.
Totally.
So this list must not adhere to years because best esports game up for nomination is League of Legends.
Yeah, no, it's probably just esports games in general. I guess maybe because League of Legends still has its
Global
esports league that's televised or
Yeah,
streamed
Duty-
or whatever you want to call it.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive is on that list. Yeah,
There's a
no,
lot of people that there's people that are still really fucking into League of Legends too. So
Oh yeah,
the
no, it's
esports
huge.
scene,
It
yeah.
is absolutely huge. The best sim or strategy game. This is a weird list. Okay, Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, which is a top-down kind of turn-based Western thing. Gears Tactics, which is top-down XCOM. XCOM Chimera Squad, which is literally XCOM, and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Hey, Microsoft Flight Simulator is still like the most popular flight simulator game ever.
It's true. It's just for this category, three of these games are, or four of these games are very similar, and then Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Did we ever run that story where Microsoft Flight Simulator got in a little bit of trouble because the new way to bully people online was to go into Microsoft Flight Simulator and crash a plane into the person's house who you wanted to bully?
I don't know if we.
and then send it to the person.
I don't know if we ran a story, but I'm gonna fucking do that tonight for all you jokers, for Andy especially after all the guff he gives me.
You don't fucking know where I live.
That's-
Good luck.
You're not wrong.
You have to crash into every house.
Yeah.
Southeast
just
Edmonton
whole
is
south,
fucking
the whole
bombarded.
south side of Edmonton. Yeah. Sorry, Allard.
That's all I'm gonna read from these. I think that's yeah. Well, okay. Let's do performance because I'm actually very invested in these voice actors. Best
Yeah.
performance up for nomination is Ashley Johnson for playing Ellie in Last of Us, Laura Bailey for playing Laura Bailey in Last of Us. I don't know how to say the name of the guy who. Daisuke. It'd be Yusuke. Daisuke? Maybe? Daisuke Suji, maybe, is how it's said. I don't know. He's up for his nomination as Jin. Logan Cunningham for playing Hades, and like I think the entire cast of Hades, pretty much. And Naji Jeterm, I think is how it's said, who plays Miles Morales in Miles Morales. That's a category I totally care about.
I really liked that was one thing that really stood out on Hades for me was all the voice acting. I really enjoyed that.
It's got such a soft-spoken nature to. I love the way that all those lines are delivered.
And I thought at first, I was like, are these good? It seems too simple to be good. But then as
Yeah.
I kept playing it and as I kept getting more involved and really started liking the characters, I'd like, no, these fuckers know what they're doing. Like they fucking pick some heavy hitters here to get in the studio and play these characters. They did a good job.
Yeah, I was kind of with you where the voice acting stood out in a way. I'm like, oh, this is different. This is like breathy and weird in a way. But
Yeah,
works
it
big
really
time.
captured the whole. Like it's exactly what I imagined those Greek gods would sound like. Like all of them, I was like, boom, yeah, that's exactly how that person sounds like.
Especially Dusa.
Oh yeah.
I hope Naji wins. Miles, the person who plays Miles in Miles Morales, does an incredible job. I hope it's not Laura Bailey, because Laura Bailey is in every fucking video game this year, and she's just doing her standard read. She's the main villain in Destiny 2 expansion. She's everybody. She's the main character in the World of Warcraft expansion.
Abby, right?
Yeah, she played Abby. She is in every game.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's the Nolan North of our time.
She's got a hell of a voice.
It's a little fatiguing at this point, where it's like Nolan North now. Whenever I hear just her like regular read, it's not the character I'm hearing anymore. It's Laura Bailey. It's like, oh hey, it's Nolan North as these 10,000 characters when he was every main video game protagonist for a while there. Podcast talkingreckless.com is an email address where you can write some thoughts into the show. I will check the email live right now. Checked it this morning, and we seemed okay. Didn't seem like there's anything too pressing. But if you have thoughts, you can write them into that email address, or you can drop them on the show. Drop them on the Discord, which you can find by going to talkingreckless.com. This is okay. I need to read this and see if this is for the air or not.
I will say quickly while you do that, you can also make sure to send your emails to your counselors and local congressmen to get Matt Eads nominated for Streamer of the Year at next year's Game Awards.
Yeah, content creator of the year. Talk to your MLA. I think this is for reading. Okay, here we go. Ludacris wrote in and said, I was looking online for some shoes recently and came across these. Ludacris, yeah. I just call him Luda. I just call him. We're friends
Luda.
like that. Luda says these shoes were described as, quote, active gaming footwear. Their description reads, created with console gamers in mind. The gaming sock is the first edition active gaming footwear. Designed for indoor and in-arena use, it delivers seamless comfort, support, and grip, so gamers can adapt to different active gaming modes and game their best.
What do they look like? Can you?
Yeah, here I got it.
What are they called?
They're called active gaming footwear. Oh yeah, here they are. The Puma. This is Puma branded. Yeah, search for Puma active gaming footwear. And they look like cleats without the spiky cleat part. He's included some choice reviews as well. Such as,
that's hilarious.
Since buying these Epic Gamer socks, I got my first kill on Call of Duty after 6 years of trying. What other clothing item do you recommend that is going to help me own the nudes?
For as much as we're joking about this, gaming aside, those fucking look fantastic for just like maybe wearing around the house. Those actually look pretty cozy. Are they $180 cozy?
Yes, they are.
That's 80 pounds. That's not $180.
Why is it pounds?
That's pounds sterling. That's not a one, because it's an EU site.
It's basically like, here we're gonna put out slippers and we're gonna call them gaming footwear.
Yeah,
and we're gonna charge people a whole bunch of money for them, and people are gonna buy them.
Designed for indoor and in arena use.
I'm not looking at it.
Kevin, it delivers seamless comfort, support, and grip so that gamers can adapt to different active gaming modes.
So that's like feet up on the table, maybe kicking back, relaxing, maybe leaning into the front of your chair and like really getting on the balls of your feet as your shit's hitting the fan.
When your Soul Cowl thing comes up and you gotta like spin around to put your blindfold on to show them your Voldo trick, the active gaming mode.
When I fucking get sniped from 100 miles away, I gotta kick my fucking wall in. They're good for that too.
Yep. No real question here. Just some damn fine shoes that we can get to help us own the nudes. Very good.
I'm look into those now. Now,
I'm legitimately fucking. These look dope.
We're all gonna get these. Yeah, let's get them. TR branded gamer shoes. Active gaming footwear.
On the topic of shoes. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, see if our boys over at the old Streamlabs or whoever it is who makes that phone case with my face on it. See if they'll make us some gamer slippers.
Do some Crocs with your head on them.
Crocs are the fucking thing. Like, that's getting your own line of Crocs is
That's how you made it.
fucking. Yeah, I'd buy some fucking Kevin Crocs. It'd be fucking dope. Little
Yeah.
fucking Hades fucking pins in it and shit. I did it in 7 runs. I want those fucking Crocs.
It says better than you.
Yeah.
But only on Andy's pair of Crocs.
Yes. I'll order my pair and they'll come in. I'll be like, hey, I got an extra pin. It just says better than you on it.
Podcast at talkingreckless.com is where you can drop emails like that. That was a tremendous email. Not even a question included there. That's just a damn fine email. There's a lot of other comments here, but they're
like just
very
talking about things sometimes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Bring
like
something to our attention.
I like talking about things so much that I do it every week.
Me too.
Let's call this a session of talking about stuff. We'll wrap up this podcast here. What is coming up? I have no idea. Everything is all. How many sheets to the wind?
Here.
A certain number.
Three.
Three sheets.
That's
What?
when you're drunk.
What if the fourth sheet goes to the wind? What does
That
that
means
even?
Your podcasts are canceled.
Oh fuck! What is the? Can we rule of thumb comes from the thumb stick, so on and so forth. Where did 3 sheets to the wind come from? Write that into podcast at talkingreckless.com. I don't just want you to. No, I don't just want anyone to Google it. I want the people to come up with the real answers. Any idiot can look up the fake news on Google.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said. I regret saying that.
Oh,
Let's wrap
now
this
you're
up.
getting me all
No.
fired up. Let me
That's
tell
enough.
you about the internet and the news.
It's an old pirate adage. Oh yeah, okay, maybe sails, literal sheets of canvas.
Sheets in the wind.
We're
So they
going.
like rip off the ship. They're gone. And it's like, whoops.
We're going so fast. I don't know how that gets to drunk, but they must be drunk. They're going so. They're 3 sheets to the wind.
You're like after
that.
every pint, they just take the tablecloth and then throw it overboard. That's 1 sheet,
Yeah, there you go.
and then they drink more.
That is the kind of emails
This
I
is
would
my
like
second sheet.
at Talking Reckless. Podcast at
This is
talkingreckless.com.
It's gonna be my 3rd sheet, you guys.
3rd sheet.
This would be a
Making
great way
that-
to end it.
It's probably knowing all of it is probably pure vodka.
That's my 3rd sheet, you guys.
Thanks very much for joining us, everyone. Oliver,
You're welcome. Thank you.
Andrew, and Kevin.
It's great to be here, Matt.
Thank you.
And to you at home, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back in the studio as soon as we can, but until at least probably the end of January. I wouldn't expect us to be back in there, so scheduling might be a little weird, but we'll sort of be playing things fast and loose, so make sure you're in the Discord. I'll put announcements in there and update as often as I can. Go check out the Patreon if you haven't already, patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast, where you can quite often, not when we're recording remote usually, but most of the time, you can find a longer version of this podcast called Tron. We have an anime podcast over there called Will of the Weebs, where voting is open right now. You can vote on what we're going to watch for the next season starting on Monday. Or I guess by the time you hear this, the voting will be closed, and hopefully the show you wanted got on. Thank you very much for all your support. We'll see you here next week. It'll be the next episode of the Talking Reckless podcast. We'll see you then.
Fourth sheet.
Scene. Thank you very much for a good podcast, everybody.
And Andy, no clapping unless we're on time.is.
Yeah, that's. Oh no! Did you clap again? Now I'm gonna have to. Oh man,
It's over.
I don't know.
there's like 26 claps in there. I'm gonna have to guess which one the right one is.
Yeah, which one's it going to be?
I'm gonna turn the stream
Is
off.
it the ones at the back or the front?
Yeah, the answer